You could see a car that had been picked up and bounced off the building, about 30 feet in the air.
All the windows from about halfway up the building were broken out.
The south side light pole, that was completely folded over. It was completely folded over onto the stands.
The flipped over cars and the glass, and that's where it kicked in like, wow, this is bigger than what we've dealt with before.
The night started with a thunderstorm moving through town. My phone rang, and it was Brad Wells, my night shift police officer. He started with telling me that there were some windows broken out in Southwest Hall, and some windows broken in Bridgeway, and there's a car upside down in the parking lot. So I think this was something a little more than just a storm, and I said, I'll be right in.
Just visually looking around, we could see that something big had happened, and we agreed that I would activate the Emergency Operations Center. And so I got on the phone and on my email to alert the other members of senior team.
I was in Beijing, China, and had just finished lunch when I got a call from Rob Kramer, who said, tornado just hit campus. I thought about the instances when I'd been close to tornadoes before. I mean, they're tremendous forces, they snatch trees up, throw cars around. That's what went through my mind.
There were cars that were flipped, and some of the art pieces were on the side, and there was glass everywhere. And I actually have a real vivid memory of walking up right to this spot and looking up and seeing all of the glass just blown out and thinking, oh my gosh. And of course, our number one concern was, where are the students? Where are the people who were living here? Getting those people to a safe location.
There's a car that had been picked up and thrown against the building. It was all beat up. Looking into the lot, a number of other vehicles in various states of kind of destruction. Glass and stones all over the place. And so looking at Bridgeway, essentially all the windows from about halfway up the building this way were broken out in some fashion because of the rocks being hammered against the building. Southwest Hall, the whole one story, the roof had been compromised.
The force of the wind had just blown not just the windows out, but actually pushed the walls out of place inside of here. The lights on the stadium two of them were completely knocked down, the other two were bent. In Roundtree, the first floor, which is mostly glass, the lounge area, all that was blown out and broken. It was real nerve-wracking the first couple of hours until it was clear that there hadn't been any injuries on campus and that everybody that was here was in a safe place. I always knew that if there wasn't anybody hurt, then we could always fix the buildings and the property that was damaged. It looked like it was going to be a big lift, but it looked like it was going to be possible to be ready for classes to start in about 8 weeks.
Department of Residence Life, I mean, they had all of these buildings impacted that were due to be occupied to some degree over the summer. So what were they going to do? We had classes still ongoing in summer session, and we had professors and students who were planning on using Engineering Hall. Well, what are we going to do?
We created an 80-day planning team to get out of just that emergency response focus, but to start thinking about what needs to be ready come August 15th. We started looking at where would the classes and labs go if Engineering Hall was not available at the start of the semester. Residence Life started looking at where can we put students if we have some of the beds not available at the start of the semester. Athletics was looking at what do we do if the stadium is not available for those first scheduled events.
We had been working on our contingency plans from, the day one of this happening. Where could we place students? Can we triple up? What occupancy did we have in different areas? Amazingly, we were ready to go.
It's amazing the level of resiliency that some of our staff and students showed. We had basketball camps and other kinds of camps happening on campus that particular night. And we have college students who were serving as camp counselors and things for those particular events that ended up turning into rescuers and getting people to safety as the storm is hitting. The work that was done by some of those students had nothing to do with being a police officer. It's not in their job description, but they did it.
There's only one way to know if you're ready for an emergency, and that's to have an emergency. And we found out that we were ready and that things happen the way that they should happen when there is an emergency. I think that this kind of a situation just causes people to show their character and to show what they're all about. And I just am so proud of the campus as a whole and the way people stepped up and did what they had to do to make sure we were ready for all those students coming in.
The volunteers we had, the offers of help, it was overwhelming and really made one appreciate our colleagues and friends and coworkers.
The campus community, the way they came together, and everybody put everything else aside to sort of get us up to speed is pretty remarkable. It really, really makes you feel good about the quality of people that live in this town and work at this university.